Boy, leave me alone. Let me go. I don't want nobody. So keep your heart when I want it. Leave me alone. Let me go. I don't want nobody. So keep your heart when I want it.
No, you never asked for it. Love you. See you for the last time. You got a heart made of cast iron. Do you kill cute little puppies in your pastime? You're so cold you make tears dry. See you for the last time. You got a heart made of cast iron.
Hey, listen.
Welcome to Brains and the Beat. If you're new here, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're oldie but goodie, thank you for staying tuned to your video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about relationship, situationship, dating, and courting, and talking about why Jamaican women are the second in the world to be killed by their counterparts, by their partners. So if you wanna get ready with me and chat about this, stay tuned. Hi guys, so in today's video is going to be a chit chat, get ready with me, and then I'm gonna talk about relationships and situationships, because a lot of Jamaican women have been dying because of their spouses, and I think it needs to be addressed. I've been really sitting with this topic and really analyzing everything and compiling my thoughts. I even have notes written down because I didn't want to do like on the surface. I wanted it to be in detail and all of that. So we are going to be talking about that. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the situationships that Jamaican men and women be getting themselves into. I'm gonna mix my Fit Me and my Too Faced Born This Way together for foundation. I never mixed these two together before. Let's see how that works out. And when I say situationships, I mean like they're in a relationship but they have side woman, side man, and all these things. And to me, let's talk about the side relationships real quick. I feel like men and women get into side relationship, it's either because of the pleasure, what's happening in the bedroom, or because of financial needs, or they're exiting one relationship and they don't know how to exit the relationship, so unintentionally start another one. We get ourselves caught up sometimes. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like stuff like that don't happen. It does. So that's one thing that I've noticed. These side relationships tend to go south because people don't know their place anymore, I feel like. So side woman used to know that they're just a side woman and they would call it a day, and it wouldn't be much problems because they wouldn't try to interfere with the person's main relationship. But now I realize that both men and women in these side relationships want to have the person that they're in a side relationship for themselves. They even go to the point where they're starting to get insecure, possessive, and it's a side relationship. Like, what do you guys expect? There's no commitment there. So there's no reason for you to be possessive of somebody else. Mind you, a lot of these side relationships happen because it's not because you look good or you're cute or you're just nice that a woman is going to pick you up and be with you. 99.99% of the time it's either because of they're unhappy in their relationship, they're trying to end that relationship, or it's for sex only, or it's for financial gain, and that's just what it is. You can't have a bag of man or a bag of woman and expect all the women that you have to be committed to you while you are out here fooling around with Tom, Dick and Harry, Sue, LaQuisha and LaQuasia. That's not how it works. And I feel like people don't understand that portion. They get in their feelings and become possessive of people that they're not in relationships with. Also, a lot of these side relationships, they're built on deceit, disloyalty, cheating, and once relationships are built on stuff like that, they're not going to last very long, and that's just the God honest truth. So let's get into relationships. These relationships nowadays, let's start off with dating and courting. I feel like a lot of people don't understand the logics of dating or courting anymore. They just do what they feel like doing. Dating to me, and I'm just speaking for myself and my experience, dating to me is basically some may or may not want to be in a monogamous relationship, or you're looking for somebody to be with long term, like a life partner, or you're just dating to have fun. People date for different reasons. So courting to me now is a totally different thing. Courting to me is you are looking for a partner to get married to. Specifically, you're not in the playing thing, you're not just dating people to have fun. You're dating with the specific purpose of you want to get married, you want to start a family, you want to have a life partner, and that's what courting to me personally is. I think people get it twisted nowadays about dating versus courting. Let's talk about real relationship, woman and man relationship. And I find that relationships are compromise, communication, and trusting somebody else with your heart. And we are human beings. We make mistakes and we are not perfect, and it's up to the person that's going to be in that relationship to know that we are human beings, we're not perfect, and to compromise and meet their partner halfway. I think a lot of people go into a relationship think it's going to be a bed of roses and you're not going to ever fight, argue, or any of that, and that's in fairy tales. That doesn't happen in real life. Relationships are hard work. It not only takes working on yourself, but it takes working with somebody else, their triggers, their trauma, all of that you have to deal with. And when you go into a relationship, you have the world to gain and the world to lose. So I feel like if you are a person when not strong enough and feel like you have more to lose than you have to gain, then you don't need to be in a relationship. And you realize I didn't say strong, you need to be strong, I said strong, okay? Because relationships are a lot of work. think people forget that part, and they just get into relationships because they want to be goals on social media, or they want to be show their partner off on social media, show that nothing is wrong with them, I can have somebody too, blah blah blah. But it's a lot of hard work. One other thing I realized too, if you're not willing to invest in your partner, you don't need to be in a relationship, period, point blank, end of story. If you feel like you don't want to lose nothing, you don't want to lose your investment, or you don't need to be in a relationship either, because like I said before, in a relationship you have the world to gain and the world to lose. So if you can't manage it, leave it alone. And that's just my God honest opinion where that is concerned. We as people need to understand that people have triggers, people have feelings, emotions, and all of that. And especially Jamaican men. Jamaican men are not allowed to have feelings and emotions and express themselves verbally and stuff, which in part has a lot to do with why they lack effective communication skills and they resort to violence. So that is a big issue that really needs to be addressed, and it not only needs to be addressed from mother's perspective but also male's perspective. Males need to, when you have a child, you need to be in your child's life, period, point blank, end of story. And in Jamaican culture, sometimes when a man is not with his baby mother or the person he has a child with, he tends to leave that child in the care of his mother alone. And I find that that is not good. Especially, a woman can't raise a man. A woman has never gone through adolescence as a man. We don't know what to expect. We don't know how to tell them what to do, what to expect. We don't know any of that. We can only talk about what we hear and what we know from a woman's perspective. We can't do that for our sons, and that is a big issue, and we need to address this. Another thing also is, when you're in a relationship, if you are not committed 100% in investing in that relationship, you don't see a future in that person, please don't boops out the people in Pitney and use them, because you wouldn't want anybody to do that to your son. You wouldn't want anybody to do that to your uncle, to your cousin. Do not do it. If you're using somebody, let them know. Be clear about what your intentions are and stop trying to fool people into thinking that you're something you're not, because it's not nice. Gone are the days when women used to work 2 and 3 jobs and 4 and 5 jobs just because they wanted to say, okay, I finished school on my own, I did it by myself, me never have to use no man to get where I am in life. I did it all on my own. Now it seems like women take pride in saying that them boops out man or them use man, and woman vice versa. It happens the other way around also, but I'm just talking from a woman's perspective because that's what I know, that's what I've experienced. So these people don't want to work. Them want, so they have one man to pay X bill, pay the rent. Them have one man to pay the electricity. Them have one man for do this, them have one man for do that. Gone are the days when Jamaican women used to take pride in the fact that me mind myself, me take care of myself, me send myself to go to school, me work 2-3 jobs. They are content with the fact that knowing them use people pitney to get where they are in life. And I don't know about anybody else, I'm not okay with that type of lifestyle or any of that. I'm way too prideful. Me don't even like beg people to things or ask for help. So me not understand where that mentality come from. A lot of women nowadays, I realize, when they're in relationships and these side women come into play, these side women don't want the man for themselves. They want the benefits of having that man, but they don't want the man for themselves because they don't want main chick responsibilities. And a lot of times men don't even realize that they want the access to having a man, his funds, everything he has to offer, love and affection, all of that, but they don't want the responsibility of dealing with him every day, dealing with his mood swings, dealing with having to cook, clean, and being there for him. They don't want to do that. They just want the benefits of having a man. And it's just life. It is what it is. And that's just what it is. And a lot of men don't realize that until it's too late. It's way too late. I feel like people no longer know their positions anymore in relationship or the space that they hold, and everybody they try take everybody position and don't know what those position entails or if they really want that position in the first place. So babe, yes, I guess I'm hearing stuff. What the hell is that? So yeah, and I also feel like in relationships we need to respect each other more. Like, if you're going to leave a relationship, leave it amicably. Leave that relationship amicably. And we as women, we like to play victim, and that's what I realized on social media. We like to play victim a lot. We like to use the whole victim card, and I find that it's not helping the situation. It's not making the situation any better. So we need to stop using that card. We as women are the ones that 99, or not gonna say 99, a lot of the times say whether we want a relationship to end, whether we want a relationship to continue. We say who we give our bodies to, and we hold a lot of power in that regard. So we as women need to choose better partners and stop blaming other people for what they do based on actions that we bring on ourselves. We have the power to leave relationship amicable with our pride and dignity intact. We just choose not to. We choose to belittle, disrespect, and talk bad about persons that we have been with, when in truth and in fact you were with that person because you see potential in that person. You saw love, you saw affection, you saw great qualities in that person. Because that relationship no longer worked for you or didn't work out for you, don't mean that person lost all those qualities that you saw. It just means you guys are two human beings. You're not compatible. You don't fit together. That's it, and that's all. Stop disrespecting people's kids and thinking it's okay and thinking it's going to fly, because It's not. Men are very egotistical, and we as Jamaican women, I feel like, don't seem to realize that or understand that, or we haven't been taught that. We also haven't been taught very good as far as communicating, understanding that people have triggers, people have things, and we also don't address mental issues a lot of the time. So we need to be very, very careful and pick our partner wisely. Stop letting we pum pum control we. Honestly, I find that I used to be like, a lot of men use their second head for make it control them, and I find that women are doing the same thing, and it's very sad and disheartening. And you may agree, you may not, you may not like what I'm saying, but it's the God honest truth. So also, I find that when we're in a relationship for a long time, we tend to forget all the stuff that we did to get our partners. We forget all the stuff we did to make our partners fall in love with us, and that's not good. Sometimes you need to readjust, reconfigure your relationship, and see what is it you're not doing right, what you need to step your game up on. And you need to not only work on your relationship, but you also need to work on yourself also in these relationships. So remember that we as women hold a lot of power, and we don't seem to understand this. Jamaican woman used to be detective when it comes down to knowing everything about a man. It seems like we have left those qualities back in the days, which is not good. Also, when you're in a relationship, like I was saying, you need to do the same thing that you did to get your partner, and know your partner love language. So if your partner's love language is acts of service, figure out what acts of service your partner likes, and tend to that, and tend to your partner. If it's giving gifts, tend to that also. If it's just making sure that your partner's nails hair is done, that can be an act of service, that can be a part of giving gifts, and you'll be just fine. We need to be more considerate of our partner's needs and understand that relationships are hard. Essentially is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so I'm gonna put on, I'm gonna do a red lip. All I did for my eyes was put a brown color in my crease and then put a light off-white color on my lids. I didn't do anything special, so that's why I didn't really see what I was doing. I'm just gonna put can't find the brush I'm gonna use, a brown color underneath my lash line. So this is the finished look. I had to go in with bronzer and blend it in my hairline. I forgot that I'm actually blonde now, so yeah, and I had this on my head, so I had to go in, blend in my bronzer. But this is the finished look. I feel like you can definitely pull this off with a nude lip and it would be just fine, but I love a good red lip. Hope you do too, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.